Yo, what up, and welcome to a new L.M.S.V. Yo, what up, and welcome to showcase number 27 of course, L.M.S.V. Season 2, Episode 9? Something like that. We got another good one. Now, for this one, it's actually a somewhat mini-series, a new mini-series for L.M.S.V. And, you know, obviously you know which character I'm gonna be showcasing again, and even the minifigure itself based on the thumbnail. But my point is, you know, as a kid growing up with, of course, Lego Star Wars the video game, Lego Star Wars the original trilogy, and Lego Star Wars the complete saga, I loved Ben Kenobi. There was just something about his very simplistic design that just, I don't know, it was so pleasing to the eye. But then again, I also grew up with like Lord of the Rings. So like, you know, with like Gandalf, so every time, and like Harry Potter, so with Dumbledore. So when I saw Ben Kenobi in the Lego Star Wars games, and of course the movies, I automatically associated like, oh, you know, an old gray hair bearded guy is wise and a powerhouse and one of the heroes. And you know, in a way he was, you know, he was of course Luke's first master, and before that of course he was Obi-Wan Kenobi, and we don't even have to go over, you know, what everything he's accomplished throughout his very sad and painful life. But regardless, when I played the Lego games and I would see Ben Kenobi show up, I was like, yes, you know, like, I'm gonna play as him, you know, like, I would play the Tatooine levels and legit try to only play those with Ben Kenobi. Like, when you did the actual story missions, you know, you would have to finish the missions. I would try to literally do everything with Ben Kenobi, and I would only use Luke whenever you would have to go from one platform with the other and use like your gun, and because Obi-Wan, even with his double jump, couldn't reach it, so I would be like, damn it. So but yeah, I would just I would only use Luke if I really had to, you know. And the same goes for the Death Star missions. I would really try to solo it with Ben Kenobi, and yeah, I just love Ben Kenobi and that design, especially that design. And if this is your first time watching an L.M.S.V. showcase, I actually have showcased the classic version of Ben Kenobi, and by classic of course I mean the yellow variant, the very first variant of Ben Kenobi, which is playable in Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. I still haven't played the game. I do have it on the Switch, and I'm looking down there because the games are there, so the more you know. Yeah, I haven't played the game yet, but I do still find it very cool that you can actually play as, of course, the classic version of Ben Kenobi. But yeah, so growing up, especially once I started getting some money, you know, through this, of course, which I'm trying to regain. So if you want to help me with that, just like the video and watch my content, so that I can keep entertaining you with L.M.S.V, with SH Figure Arts, with other figure reviews, with upcoming Star Wars what ifs and Dragon Ball what ifs, all that good stuff. So if you want to help me with that, just watch my content, and if you do end up enjoying it, don't forget to hit the like button. But yeah, so I have already showcased the classic version, and this is the very next Lego Ben Kenobi minifigure that was released. Now, how is this a mini-series? Seeing as I've only told you how much I love, you know, the OG Ben Kenobi. Well, that's because I wanted to have every single Ben Kenobi. Like I said, like once I started getting some money, I was like, I want to have the classic version, and I want to have every single other Lego Ben Kenobi that's been made since. And so I did, up until, I think like 2-3 years ago. And it doesn't even have to do with the whole what happened to my channel, but like, I don't know, once they had made the brown robes, like that was printed all the way to the legs, that isn't printed at the back of the legs nor the side of the legs. That's really weird, but you know, we'll talk about that once I showcase that awesome Ben Kenobi. But like, I think maybe it's the one that was released after that one, but like at some point I did stop because like they were just reusing the same body or the same head and barely adding anything to it. So I was like, you know what, I have a Lego custom Ghost Ben Kenobi, which, yes, so that's gonna be the last Ben Kenobi that I'll showcase. But I have actually created a Qniverse Ultimate Ben Kenobi, and after, of course, buying all the already existing ones, I was like, I want to have one be-all, end-all Ben Kenobis, apart from the Ghost one, because that's just, you know, it's like the Mona Lisa of my Ben Kenobi collection. It's just like, that's that super special one in the collection, you know what I mean? And that's also going to be showcased in the future, so if you want to see that early, before anyone else does, definitely check out my Patreon page. But that plug aside, seeing as I do own all the Ben Kenobis, and I have designed and I have the actual custom minifigure right there, I thought, why not just pump out the entire Ben Kenobi collection, so that not like one after the other as in how I showcase my minifigures. Like after this one I'm gonna showcase. So again, if you wanna get early access to that, links below, or just subscribe to this channel. Basically it will be Ben Kenobi, other minifigure, Ben Kenobi, other minifigure, Ben Kenobi, so on and so forth, until we reach my custom ultimate and then the Ghost one, and then it's a wrap. Because like the only other Ben Kenobis I really want to have to be like super special, you know, like I'm not gonna spend more money on yet another mesh of previously released Ben Kenobis, you know, like, oh, this one has a different hairpiece, but apart from that he's exactly the same as the others. I'm not spending my money on that. So yeah, but I do want to show love to, of course, Ben Kenobi, the character that I loved playing as in the Lego games. And of course, this is the very first 10 version that was released after the classic version. And we're gonna go over the details. I got them right here, show you the back of them. So yeah, oh, by the way, no back printing, just FYI, so we're not gonna look at the back after this. So let me just, there you go, now you can see it for yourself. There's no back printing. So I don't even know if he has a double-sided face, but of course we're gonna find that out right now, because we're gonna take a closer look at the very first 10 version of Ben Kenobi right now. And here he is, and as you can see, they did in fact in 2007, when this minifigure came out, did come out swinging with a new torso piece and with a new head, and also a new color variant for the hair. There's a slight color change, and once I put the classic variant next to him, you'll definitely understand what I'm talking about. Now again, this was 2007, so there was no, you know, arm printing and leg printing. It was still very much bare bone level kinds of printing with just a head. I don't know if it has a double-sided head, I can check right now. So yeah, that's a solid no. He does not have a double-sided head, but regardless of that, in my opinion, he still looks absolutely fantastic. He does look a bit more terrified than the classic, especially when you look at the eyes and look at the bags under his eyes. Like, this man looks tired and ready to go. And keep in mind, Ben Kenobi's not that old in episode 4, like none of them are, and I'm not fully sure, you know, I knew George Lucas had like a plan and an idea to first do 4, 5, 6 and then 1, 2, 3, but like I'm not sure he was like fully aware of everyone's age, because especially Obi-Wan Kenobi got a rough treatment, bro. Like Darth Vader's in his 40s, and I think he's in like his 50s, beginning of his 50s when he dies. That's young, and he just doesn't look the part. And especially when you look at Alec Guinness as Ben Kenobi, he does not look the part. You know, he looks like he's late 60s, probably more like in his 70s, you know, if not beyond, especially by today's standards. But like regardless, yeah, he definitely looks a lot older than he is. But again, this feels just more like an updated version of the classic variant, because as you can see, the classic variant looks a lot calmer, has a more like relaxed like vibe to him, and the 2007 version feels a lot more just like an updated version of the OG But like, when it comes to the heads, I feel like they kind of dropped the ball. Also, the eyes look a bit soulless. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're just a little bigger. I don't know what it is about his eyes compared to the classic ones. Oh, and also, do you see the difference in shade of gray? Like, it is definitely different, definitely a bit lighter, which only further makes him appear a whole lot older. But again, I don't know what it is, but like, he looks soulless, and yet the classic version looks so alive and vibrant, and you know, like he has a purpose. This Ben Kenobi just looks like he's really willing to go, you know what I mean? But again, that's just the whole vibe of this Ben Kenobi, to be an updated version of the classic one. And when it comes to the torso printing, they knocked it out of the park. You know, compared to this one, this Ben Kenobi looks like he's rocking his PJs, you know what I mean? Like, this is definitely an upgrade from the classic one, but still, it's just something about that dead gaze in his eyes, man. It looks depressing in my opinion. But apart from his eyes, it's a great minifigure, and I really like it because, like I said, there's nothing crazy about it. It's just the 2007 updated variant of the classic one. And yes, of course, also the tan robe is obviously also a different shade now. And in my opinion, it looks more accurate and definitely better. Now, this minifigure is of course from the set, the Ultimate Collector's Millennium Falcon set from 2007, as I've said a billion times by this point. I really recommend getting him just for the sake of like having the very first colored variant of the classic Ben Kenobi. Now, I didn't get him from that set. I got him from Firestar Toys, and if you want to get him for yourself, and if he's available in Firestar Toys, definitely don't forget to use my code FSHSQ1, and then you'll get a 10% discount off of that purchase or any other order you might place on that website. But yeah, I was not gonna get the entire Ultimate Collector's Millennium Falcon set just for this Ben Kenobi, for the sake of just having every single Ben Kenobi. So I just, you know, did it like that. But I do really recommend him. I did therefore also get him this lightsaber. I don't know if that was included in the original set, but I do of course recommend getting a lightsaber for any Jedi, Sith, Force user that you've seen use a lightsaber. Again, I really like it for nostalgic reasons. It's not mind-blowingly beautiful or out of this world amazing, but it is great because it really represents a very important moment in time, and that's the shift from the classic yellow tint noggins to the tan ones. And yeah, again, I recommend getting both, of course, you know, the classic one and this one, and they look great together, but they also look great separate from one another. And to me, as I've said a billion times, I loved playing as him in LEGO Star Wars the original trilogy, as well as LEGO Star Wars the complete saga. So for me, on the scale of 1 to 10, I would probably give this a 7.5, mostly because of the soulless dead gaze in his eyes and just not having a lot of printing. You know, it's a great figure, but nostalgia really made it that much cooler for me, so I can definitely understand if this is not necessarily a cup of tea, especially if you're looking to try and have the, you know, your very own custom be-all, end-all Ben Kenobi. Now, could you use this minifigure as a base and then transform it into an ultimate variant LEGO custom? Of course you can. Like, you can change literally every single part about this minifigure to make him perfect in your opinion. So, and speaking as I do have my very own Ultimate Ben Kenobi, no, I'm not gonna compare him to that because that would be really weird if I already showed you my Ultimate version. But again, having my very own Ultimate version does make me love this one all the more for it, because he's part of the journey that build up to, of course, that Ultimate custom Ben Kenobi minifigure. I do really highly recommend that you get it if you want it, of course. Now, if you do like the video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more Ben Kenobi minifigures or other LEGO content or SH Figuarts content or future what ifs. There's a lot of awesome content coming in the future. Still working on getting monetized again on YouTube, because that would really help with a lot of different things. So if you want to help me with that, definitely, like I said, don't forget to hit that like button. It pushes my videos a bit more into the algorithm, which is really tough to get pushed into. And I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So from Ben Kenobi from 2007, as well as from yours truly, I hope you had an awesome day. I wish you an awesome day, and see you guys and girls in the next video. Now let's go to the character roster, because you've now officially unlocked 2007 Ben Kenobi.